Hi, my name is Dominique, Teen Library Assistant with Durham County Library, and today we're going to look at different ways to tie-dye. Always remember to have a parent's permission before you start tie-dyeing, and always remember to have fun. Let's get started. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and do a bullseye, and with that you just find a spot on the shirt and you just pull it straight up. You make a little peak, a cone, and then you just apply rubber bands throughout the entire thing, all the way down the shirt. You don't fold. You just go from that little peak and you make rubber bands down. Make sure the rubber bands are tight so that it doesn't, the color doesn't go underneath the rubber bands. Alright, so now we're putting on the very last rubber band. And then we're just going to start adding our color. All of our rubber bands are on, they're lined up. This is the top of this is our peak for our bullseye, all the way down to the outside. So when you add your color, you're just going to pick whatever colors you want. My advice is to get at least 2, maybe 3. It's whatever you want. And just start adding colors. Make sure the colors don't run right next to each other, like don't put red next to red or something. Okay, we're going to add our color. We're going to start with our center of our bullseye. Our center of our bullseye. Now that we've added our color, we are going to take our bag and we are going to put it in our bag. And that's where it will rest for the next 6 to 8 hours. Okay, we're going to start on our spiral, and our spiral is the same as the bullseye, only a little twisty different. You find a spot on the shirt and then you just start twisting the shirt from there. You make sure that it stays together and it's a good twist. And then you just put your rubber bands on in a crisscrossy pattern. Alright, so now that we've gotten our rubber bands on, we have sectioned it off into 8 sections. We're going to start adding our color, and you can add your color any way you want to. We're going to do ours in a triangle fashion. You want to make sure whatever color that you use in one section on the front is the same that you use for that section on the back. And then it goes into the bag. Alright, in our bag, we wrap it up, and that's where it's going to stay for 6 to 8 hours. Okay, this one is called the Sunburst. So with this one, you just make little peaks in the shirt and you just rubber band it out. And you do that all over the shirt. Now that you've gotten all your peaks rubber banded out, you'll notice that it's a lot like the Bullseye. It's just that it's all over the shirt instead of in one spot going outwards. You want to go ahead and start coloring your peaks. You color the peaks one color, and then you can color around it a different color, or you can color the entire shirt a different color. So once you've colored all your tips, you've colored your tips one color and you've did a nice pattern around it. As you can see, we've done a lot of colors. You can also just make the shirt one color and the tips a different color, but then you just very gently put it in the bag. You don't want the colors to overlap too much, so you want to try to slide it in the bag. And then wrap it up and give it 6 to 8 hours. For this shirt, we're going to go ahead and do stripes. Now it depends on how you fold the shirt as to whether the stripes are going which way. If you were to roll the shirt up, then the stripes would be going up and down. If you're rolling the shirt from one side to the other, the stripes are going from one side to the other. This is going to make my stripes go from left to right, not up and down. And then you're just going to put your rubber bands on, going up the tube of your shirt. Make sure you put your rubber bands at regular intervals. Now that you've put your rubber bands on, it's time to add your color. Remember, your shirt is your design, so you can do your shirt however you want. All right, we have our colors and our alternating colors. It's going to make our nice stripes going across our chest, across our shirt. And once you finish adding your color, you're just going to put it in the bag and wait 6 to 8 hours. With this shirt, we're going to do a zigzag pattern. We're going to start with a pleat fold. So you fold it over and then you just pleat it from there. Each one is like equal distance apart. You're lining it up. So it's basically just like stacking it. It's just that it's all lined up together. Make sure that you get the same pattern on the last sleeve. And then from there, you're going to mark the shirt with a washable marker in a horizontal line going up the shirt at even intervals. and then you apply your rubber bands where you put the marks at on the shirt. This is going to be the hard part. The rubber band wants to go straight across, but you have to make it go diagonal. Alright, now that you've put the rubber bands on the shirt, if they weren't diagonal to begin with, don't worry about it. You can go back and fix it. It's very easy to put them on straight and then pull them down so that they're diagonal. Now, you can put as many colors as you want. You can put it however you want. You can go ahead and start putting your colors. Each section, you really shouldn't have two colors together, because then what's the point of tie-dyeing? It just looks the same. Now once you've finished adding all your color, making sure that you've gotten it nice and as vibrant as you want or as sparse as you want it, you're going to make sure that you put it in a bag and store it for 6 to 8 hours. This is my favorite shirt. It's really comfortable, but as you can see, I've kind of messed it up a little bit. When I was cleaning, I got a little bit of bleach on it. So I'm gonna use this shirt and we're gonna do a reverse tie-dye. I'm gonna start by making my pattern. I'm gonna fold it in half. And then I'm just gonna do an accordion fold, where it's just a back and forth fold, trying to make it even. And since I want a little extra on the sleeves, I'll give my sleeves a little extra fold to it. And then I'm gonna start putting my rubber bands on. Alright, so I've got my rubber bands on. They're evenly placed, about evenly placed all the way down. Now I'm going to use my bleach. In my bleach I have half a cup of bleach and a half a cup of water. So I'm just going to go ahead and just pour it on there. I'm going to pour it wherever I think I want my bleach to be. So as you can see, I'm not pouring it all the way over everything. I'm just pouring it in spots. I definitely want my bottom edge to be bleached. And then I'm going to turn it over and do the same thing on the other side. You can see bleach works pretty quick. It's starting to go ahead. Now, when it finishes the bleaching process, it's not going to be a completely, totally white object. And that's okay, because that's kind of what I want. I want it to have spots where there's color and spots where there's not. And make sure you're in a well-ventilated space when you do this, because Bleach gives off a very high smell, and you don't want to constantly breathe all that in. So I've let this shirt sit for a few hours with the bleach. You can see it's kind of light in some places, it's still dark in some places, and I kind of like that. I'm gonna go ahead and take the rubber bands off and see how it looks all together. Alright, so all the rubber bands are off. And now I'm gonna open it up and see what it looks like. I kind of like it. I really like it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rinse it out, and then I'm gonna wash it. And after washing it, I'm gonna then decide whether or not to add any color to it. As you can see, I decided to leave my shirt the way it was. I decided not to add any extra dye to it. Don't be afraid to experiment. Don't be afraid to try different things. Remember, this is your story, and how you do it is important. Thanks.